Hey there, it's Matt again. This tutorial is going to show you how to brush in this owl design in SS6 or 2mm stones. We're going to use two different types of template materials. For the owl design, we're going to use the sticky flock template material, which it's a 3-color design. And then at the end of this video, we're going to also show you how to brush in the stones for the SS6 or 2mm stones on the regular template material, just to show you the differences and the advantages of both. So this is our first color of the owl design. Again, this is the 2mm or SS6 stones. Now with the sticky flock template material, we actually cut our holes a little bit bigger, just because the holes get so small with the 2mm or the SS6 that you'll see some of the fibers of the sticky flock, it's almost like it makes the holes even a little bit smaller because of the way the flock stands up off of the material. So we normally cut our sticky flock material at right around 2.4 millimeters, and we cut the regular template material right around 2.2 millimeters. So a little bit of a difference. We cut the holes a little bit bigger for the sticky flock material, and we notice that the stones do brush in a little bit easier that way. So as you can see, with this material, we're just using our regular rhinestone brush here. Some people like to use the microfiber brush for the SS6 or 2mm stones. With the flock material, you can't use the microfiber brush because it catches onto the flock. So the flock material, you cannot use the microfiber brushes. You have to use the regular rhinestone brush like we're using here. So you have to be pretty sensitive with the sticky flock material. As far as to get the stones into the holes, it's almost like you have to be a little bit more aggressive and push a little bit harder once they get in there, and then you just need to be a little sensitive when brushing the excess stones away. So this is a pretty big design here. This is the owl design. It had, I think it was 2,000 something stones in it. It's a 3-color design. So this is a pretty big one with the SS6. We're using the sticky flock for this portion of the design just because the layering process is a little bit easier. And that's what we were going to try and go over a little bit. Just a lot of people want to know the difference between the sticky flock material and the template material and which one's better. There's not really one that's better, it's whatever you prefer. We use both of the materials, both of the template materials. For multicolor layering, we notice that the sticky flock material is a little bit easier because of the anchor system that we have on the left side there. And what that is on the left side, that's actually just the regular template material that we cut a strip to, that we just attach to our sticky flock material. And what we'll do once we get into the layering process, we'll show you how we attach that to it. So that's one of the advantages of the sticky flock. The only disadvantage here of the sticky flock is you can see it's taking a little bit longer, even though it's still only taking a minute or two to brush in all of these stones, and it's a good amount of stones. It still does take a little bit longer than the regular template material, and you'll see once we get to that the difference in how quickly that goes with the microfiber brush. But the main thing with the SS6 stones is just what type of cutter you have. Make sure you're cutting the holes at the right size and that they're clean holes, they aren't oval shaped or anything. So we're layering the first color of the design here. As you can see, we're going to put it on our anchor system over there on the left side, and we're just going to go over it here real quick. One of the benefits of the flock material is you don't have to worry about any of the glue or the static, any of the stones popping up. So as you can see, all of the stones pull up very easy. I mean, that's over 1,000 stones right there, that every one of them pulled up easily on the first try. You'll notice on the regular template material, sometimes when you pull it up, it'll kind of turn the stones at an angle because of the way you have to pull it up, where it doesn't do that here. And then here's where the easy part is with this material as far as the layering process. Because we did a perfect contour cut for the square, and the square is the exact same size for all three of the designs, all we have to do is layer this square directly on top of the other square, and what you'll see is none of the circles will show through because that's the second color. So everything looks perfect there, it's lined up perfectly. Now we just move to our next color. So we're going to go ahead and brush away all of the stones here. The stones we used there were the smoked topaz, and they were obviously the 2mm SS6 stones, and they were the Korean grade stones. So we're done with that color, and the next color we're going to use here is the SS6 or 2mm citrine stones. So this is the second color of our design. Again, the exact same way, we're just going to brush everything in the exact same, just like we did the first part of the design there. And obviously, as everybody knows, the SS10, SS16 stones are a whole lot easier to work with different materials. We preferably like the SS6 stones even more using the regular template material. We feel like we can brush in the SS6 stones even quicker than the SS10 or SS16 stones with the regular template material if your template is cut right and you have the right size holes. So we're going to show you that template material after we complete this one and just show you what the difference is here. So both of the template materials have advantages, and it all really depends. If we were to create a SS6 design that's a one color design and we needed to create 50 of them, we would use the other template material without a doubt because we can create them quicker. It's a one color design that we don't have to layer anything, so we don't have to eyeball it or do any type of layering like that. If it's a three color design like this one here, chances are we would probably use the flock material, just for the fact of when you're using 2,500 stones in a design and you're going to eyeball it to line it up, if you miss-hit on one of those lineups, then those 2,500 stones are all ruined because you aren't going to be able to separate them all apart then. It's going to be a pain in the butt to separate them all apart, where with this flock material and lining it up like this, it's so much easier to line it up and layer it perfectly that you don't get those mishaps of misaligning if you're going to eyeball it. So it really just depends on your job. Everybody says, which material should I use? Should I use this material? Should I use the regular material? We say use whatever material is going to work best for you, and probably the best way to go would be to use both materials depending on your job. So there we go, we're done with the citrine SS6 for the second color of the design. Now we're going to show you how we layer this up. Now this is the first time we've done it with a huge design like this. So as you can see, we can just drop it down right there because it was still anchored onto that material on the left side there, and everything's lined up perfectly. Because that transfer sheet in the hotfix tape never moved, it was always on that anchor system, all we did was drop it back down and it fell right back into the exact same place as the first color of the design, so it was very easy to layer it. Now, like all template materials, it really depends. The flock material has a little bit of give in it, so it is a little bit easier to get down and get the second color of those stones. But again, we're working with over 2,000 stones here, so of course everyone's not going to pull up exactly on the first time. But you never have to worry about a glue issue or any kind of glue seeping through the back of it. You never have to use any type of powder. That's one advantage of this material, is you don't have to worry about any type of powder or stickiness, to where the stones are always going to come up easily the first time. I mean, you see a couple stones that are staying there, we just push our finger on it real quick and it comes up right away. So now we got it anchored to the left side there again. We're done with two colors of the design. Now we're going to go ahead and throw the third color on. And we're going to use the crystal SS6 2mm stones. So all three of the stone colors are SS6 or 2mm for this design. It's a complete SS6 design. We're just going to layer it up. Our square is obviously the exact same size. All you have to do is layer it exactly on top of it. grab a good bunch of the SS6 crystal stones here. Again, on all these stones we're just using the top grade Korean stones. And go to work on brushing these in. Alright, so it looks like we got all of that brushed in there. Let's go ahead and brush away all of the excess stones. It's nice to have a real big workstation like this. As you can see, we still have all of our stones on the table here, and we can just brush them off into different sections. And then we actually have a funnel on the bottom right side of the screen where we can just hold our Gatorade bottle underneath it and brush the stones right into the little hole, and they'll fall right back into the bottle to make it easy. So this is the third color of our design. Again, we just grab the hot fix tape and layer it straight back on over the top of it again. Falls right back there into place, just making sure that it's lined up perfect and everything looks great. Very easy. Get down in there and press on those stones. As you can see, as we're pressing down, the paper and the tape has a little bit of give in it because of the 3 layers of flock on top of each other, so it makes it a little bit easier to get down and get those stones. And that's it. We just finished the 3-color design, over 2,000 stones in this 3-color design, so a pretty big design here. You're not going to have a lot of designs with more stones than this. So a pretty huge design that we created pretty quickly here, pretty easy to layer. You can see it came out perfectly there. And we're also going to show you the SS10 version of this. It's a little bit less detailed, but just so you can kind of see the difference between a 3mm and a 2mm version. So the 3mm version on the right here, and then the 2mm on the left. So about 1,000 more stones in the 2mm version. Now we're going to show you the regular template material here and how easy it is to brush in those stones if it's cut correctly. Anytime we're looking for speed, something we need to create a lot of, we always use this template material just because we can use the microfiber brush here. We have the microfiber brush with the handle on top right here. And watch how quickly we can brush these in. I mean, we're looking at 30 seconds. There is over 1,000 stones in this design here, and we're already almost done with it. I mean, we're looking at 30 seconds to brush in 1,000 stones, all of them in perfectly, and ready to throw some hot fix tape on. So you can see a huge difference there as far as speed-wise, and then also a huge difference if this were a 2-color design and we wanted the inside of that dazzle part to be a different color, then we would have to eyeball it because this material isn't actually sticking to a surface, so it's always going to move. So for single color designs, we always use this material because it is so much quicker. And if it's just a one-off, something that we don't really feel like we're going to use a lot of, we'll grab a little piece of this material because obviously it's a little bit less expensive as well. So let's go ahead and pull it up off the design here. As you can see, a couple little stones may get caught. Just push on it with your finger, pull it up, and everything's looking good. So we're done with that entire design right there. Over 1,000 stones in that small design right there with the 2mm stones, but you can see how quickly we did it. So if we had 100 of those designs to make, we would probably group up 2 of these on a template, brush in 2 at a time, do them this quick, and just knock them out real fast. So there you go. Hopefully this video helped you a little bit. as far as seeing the two different template materials. And again, this is Matt, and hope you have a good day.